Well, good morning once again and welcome to Virginia This Morning. I'm Cheryl Miller. You know, we're in the kitchen getting ready. Sometimes it's hard to get going in the morning. This one is a hard one this morning. And because maybe you aren't properly fueling yourself for the day ahead, that might make it a little bit more difficult. Well, it's been said that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So we're starting our show with a great recipe that includes the energy of protein, and it tastes great too. Richmond Executive Chef Asar Aryank is back with us today to show us how to make his Southwest breakfast burrito. Good morning, Chef.
Good morning.
Going to start us off great. I talked about the protein. Egg is a perfect protein, isn't it, really?
Yes. It's real. I mean, it's a simple protein to utilize. It's very versatile. There's many ways that you can utilize it, and it's very economical. So
yeah, I was going to say, everybody can afford a carton of eggs,
exactly.
You know, which is a great thing. This is a Southwestern flavored recipe for us. So where do we start? I know you've got a wonderful pico de gallo that you made, and that's something that we can do ourselves. It's very simple. It's easy to pour it out of a jar, but it's just as simple and tasty to make it.
It's very easy to make it yourself. It just has a few ingredients. You just get yourself some fresh tomatoes. You dice those up. It has some red onions in it, some lime juice, jalapeno peppers, and cilantro. You season it up with a little salt and pepper, and depending on how much heat you want for it, you know, you can add more of the peppers, fresh jalapeno to give it the heat that you're looking for. But it's very simple. Once you mix them together, it's done.
And that's one of those simple things too that when you make it yourself, you realize how much better it can taste.
And it's fresher. The fresher the product, the more tasty it's going to be.
And no preservatives.
No preservatives.
And you can control the salt, which is the big thing.
Definitely the big thing, the sodium.
All right. So where are we going to start with our burrito?
First thing is, this is a very quick process. We got some corn that I cut off of the cob, so it's fresh corn. We're going to throw that into our pan, and I have a little bit of black beans.
Now, did you get those out of a can and rinse them, or did we?
Yes, I got these out of a can and rinsed them off. But if you wanted to, you could cook some black beans from scratch if you wanted to soak them and then cook them down.
Soak them overnight and then have them ready to go.
Definitely. So, you know, this is a very quick process. You hear a little bit of sizzle going on here. Pan's reaching its temperature. You just want to cook these. This is roughly 1 minute, and you're done. You know, the corn, as I always say when I'm on the show, you don't have to cook vegetables to be super soft. You want to leave some nutritional content within them. So, you know, that little bite or that little crunch you have in it just, you know, kind of exemplifies the freshness of it.
And texture sometimes enhances the experience of eating. If you're eating mush, it's like it's not all that good.
Brings you back to grade school all over again. Okay, so you see that, you hear the little sizzle with that, that's cooking up. I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper to that, just a little bit. Add a little salt to it as well.
We were talking about the difference of fresh things. The difference between black pepper that comes out of a can and black pepper that's freshly
cracked from
the difference is amazing.
You'll taste you'll get a whole different flavor profile from that because you're actually cracking the black peppercorn as needed instead of something being cracked and just sitting in a container.
Right.
After a while, the flavor kind of dissipates and it doesn't taste as well. So that right there, that's going. You know, it has not much time for it to go. Okay. So we can move on to the next thing. We have some oil here, and I have some eggs. Whoa. All right, so we're going to put that in there as that sizzles.
And are you going to scramble, or are you going to make it more of an omelet-like?
We're going to scramble it, but it's a very simple to scramble an egg. You just kind of let it sit for 1 second, and then you just mix it. You don't, you know, a lot of the times what people do is they constantly mixing the egg. You never give it a chance for the heat to really hit it and allow it to coagulate. So you just let it sit there and let the heat do its job. You don't have to do much.
We want the big curds.
Exactly. You want those nice curds. See, black beans and corn is done, so we can take that off.
It's popping out of the pan.
It's jumping out, letting us know, hey, I'm finished. What are you doing over here? So we'll switch places with this one over here and put this over here. Wipe that off. Kind of multitask over here.
That's right. We're going to be talking about that later in the show, multitasking. Okay,
so you see that now, how that's coming together? And
I noticed you didn't add any milk or any water or anything to your eggs.
That's that. And with the seasoning, you see you have residual heat that's left in this pan right now. With me just stirring this around, the residual heat in the pan will cook the eggs. So you see how I removed it and it's done. We can take the heat off of that. Now at the end, I'm going to add my seasonings. When you put the seasonings in at the beginning of your eggs, it can make them a little bit more rubbery and tough. So you always want to add your seasonings at the end.
Great tip.
Okay, so that's done. So now we move on to the next step. Very simple, as I said. That's done. We have here a tortilla. We have a pan that's hot. We just drop it on there. Doesn't need to sit very long. Just drop it on there. All we're doing is letting the heat from the pan heat the oils up in the tortilla and allow it to be a little bit more pliable.
So that we can actually roll it.
So we can actually roll it, because if you try to roll it when it's kind of cold, it can tear on you a little bit easy. So We got some heat into it.
That was quick.
That's it. So now we just start assembling now. So that's it. So we got the black beans and the corn.
And I know that pan's got to be hot. You got chef hands.
Yeah, I'm used to this. I've been cooking food, holding hot pans since I was 6 years old, so this is nothing new. Okay, so we got that on there. We got some black beans and corn. We have our scrambled eggs.
And I like my eggs hard scrambled, so this way you can make them the way you
cook them however you would like to do so, you know. So we're gonna go ahead and put the eggs in there. Got the eggs in there. All right.
They are beautiful. You did a great job, Chef, on
thank
that.
you. Next thing we're gonna put a little bit of cheddar. You could, you know, if you have a certain type of cheese that is your preference, you can utilize that cheese. And want to put pepper jack on there, you can do that. I have some avocado. I'm gonna just layer the avocado right into there. A little bit of chives. And you could also put a little bit of pico in there. You know? Don't be shy. You put
That
a
would
little
be
bit
my
of that
preference,
in there.
yeah.
Okay, so now here comes the part where a lot of people get nervous with. You just want to move this back, put your sides in. Then you roll, and then you pull right here.
Give it a nice tuck.
That's it. So now you see you have this flap on the bottom. We have a hot pan right here. We just sit it on there. We're going to sear that piece right there, and that'll hold that flap in place, so we don't have to worry about it, you know, opening up on us. So pretty simple.
That's beautiful, and you've got a finished product here.
Finished
It looks
right here.
absolutely beautiful.
So I could go ahead and we can start plating over here. First thing you want to do is you want to put your oranges right there, give it some nice color. I have the pico already made up, so we'll sit the pico right there. You want to give it a little bit more, you know, punch. Take a little bit of leaf of cilantro, sit it on there right there. There we go.
And we're going to have this recipe for the Southwest Breakfast Burrito on our website by early this afternoon. All you got to do is go to WTVR.com/VTM. Chef, you want to cut that one for us?
Definitely. All right, and now we just
looks
cut
beautiful.
that on a 45-degree angle.
All right. Thank you, Chef.
And sit it up there.
Happy breakfast to everybody.